Hey guys, it is Saturday night and I am here filming my one and only reading vlog update for this week. But thankfully it is a true update in that I finished a book, Chimera by Mira, which is the third book in the Parasitology trilogy. This is a horror trilogy and the premise is just that scientists worked to make tapeworms medically beneficial to humans, you know, secreting medications and controlling allergies and asthma and other kind of illnesses and bodily functions that are less great for humans. And then things go horribly awry because it's a horror. It's a horror trilogy, so of course everything went wrong. I walked into this novel a little bit apprehensive. I really like Mira Grant. In case you're wondering, yes, it is a pen name for Seanan McGuire, which is my favorite author. But I had read the Newsflash trilogy before this, which starts with Feed, and it was amazing, and I loved it. And it reminded me why I loved Seanan McGuire in general. It just so good. And then I came into this, and it was very different. It's not that far in the future. I think this is just the start of the apocalypse. And so there's not a whole lot of world building that goes on. Our main character, I just didn't connect with. I was really struggling. She was a little bit, I don't want to say too stupid to live, but she was definitely very naive in a way that I did not appreciate. I didn't like a lot of the secondary characters. So, like, these things that I really enjoy about Seanan McGuire's work, Mira Grant's work, I guess. I don't know how to say that. Like, Seanan McGuire as Mira Grant. But anyway, a lot of the things that I like about how she writes were missing. And so I walked into this thinking it was a fine trilogy, like fine. The books were fine up until that point, but this was not. I didn't know that if this was gonna make me feel better, but I'm happy to say that it did. I feel like the main character, Sal, finally really found herself and was much more comfortable with herself in this book, and it just showed. It is the third, it's the third novel, so we were essentially racing to the end, which was going to be the epic conclusion of the whole trilogy. And so it was very action packed. It very much moved. I finally felt better about some of the characters. I liked not just Sal as the main character, but some of the other side characters too. I finally connected with. So I felt so much better about this. And I'm happy that I continued on. The only thing that I really had problems with is that the chapters are really long. They're like 25 to 30 pages a piece, and as you can tell, this is not like a mass market paperback. This is a full-size paperback. And I mean, guys, like, I can't do 30 pages at a time. I really struggle. And there were definitely breaks in the middle of chapters, but I never knew when they were going to come. And so, unfortunately, there were times where I probably could have read like, I could have taken the time to read some of this, but I just didn't because I didn't have 20, 30 minutes to read a full chapter. So, I mean, between that and like, I got horribly sick, and my son was sick. One of my kids was sick. It was just not a very good reading week. But I am very glad I finished this. I am, and I'm so relieved that I liked it as much as I did. So I read that earlier. I finished that earlier today, so I had enough time to go ahead and start 13th Child by Patricia C. Wrede. This is a story about F, who is the 13th child in a family. She is, everybody believes that if I guess I should back up. So this is a place that actually does have magic. And so because of magic, there are some superstitions. And of course, being the 13th child, she is expected to bring doom and misery wherever she goes. And it doesn't help that she is a twin, and her twin brother is the seventh son of a seventh son. So he's expected to do these amazing, amazing things. And so her dad and mom decide to move out to more frontier kind of area, and so he can be a professor and she can go to school and learn magic as well. And I'm not that far into it. She just moved and is getting settled. I'm about 50 pages in, so we haven't really hit the crux of the story yet, but I am really liking it. It is definitely more of a middle grade story. I find that with Patricia C. Wrede, I actually like her middle grade stories, so I'm excited to keep on with that and see where it goes. The only other thing, oops, I forgot, is I did start another book that I am just kind of perusing as whatever, whenever I have time, and that is Rejected Princesses, Tales of History's Boldest Heroines, Hellions, and Heretics by Jason Porath. This is actually a nonfiction title. It is about women in history who we should remember. We should learn their histories. In the introduction, he actually said, why don't we know about these women? Why is the list of women we learn about in history so short and so scrubbed clean? Like even Harriet Tubman, who's much more of a rebel than a lot of the other women, her story is very much scrubbed of any kind of mature content. And so in this book, he does a lot of he did a lot of research into history, and there's drawings to go with it. And I think one of my favorite things is he does not pull punches. So if there's mature content, he includes it. Now, because this is something that some people might want to share or, be careful about how they read, it's actually really nice. Each story of the princesses has a maturity rating from 1 to 5, and then if there are special considerations in it, he labels it. So there's always warnings for things like abuse or violence or rape, or there's a couple others, and so it's very nicely done. And of course, and then he laid it out so that the beginning stories are the most family friendly, and the last stories are the most mature. And I am loving this. And even more, my 8-year-old son started picking this up as well. And so we're reading it at the same time, and he is loving it. And I love that he is getting a more well-rounded history of everything, that he is learning a more complete history, not just females, but women of color are very prominent, and I'm so excited. I'm really loving it. I don't know when I'm gonna finish it because it's really big, but I'm not focusing on it, but it'll get done. So those are the things I'm reading, the 2 books that I'm in the middle of, and the one that I finished, and that's my update for this week. So that's what I got for you, and until I see you again, happy readings, and I will see you in the next vlog. Bye!